feel being a part in it?
For that very reason, I feel very pressured to sort of meet people's high expectations. But it's made me. It's been one of the hardest jobs I've done in a great way. It's sort of really challenged me in new ways and made me work very, very hard for it. All we can do is try our best to make the best films possible because there is such a hugely passionate fan base. It's a real dream come true, a job like this. It's been such a special experience, and having the opportunity to kind of share it with so many of my now friends has just been an absolute joy. So I'm very, very lucky.
Es una historia que cuenta con muchos fans y yo quería saber si en esta parte has sentido esa presión de no decepcionar.
It's a story that has many, many fans, and I would like to know if you felt at this time the pressure of not disappointing them.
Always that'll be a disappointment. Not a disappointment, sorry. It will be a challenge, and we hope it won't be a disappointment. I definitely don't feel that people will be disappointed. Having the opportunity to kind of split this last book into two films really allows us to kind of the time to explore each event, that takes place. Allows us to explore District 13 and the sort of struggles and challenges that each of these characters overcome. So I think it only aids the process, having it split into two. And we tried our hardest, it's all you can do as an actor or as a filmmaker. We hope we don't disappoint, and it's got a bit of everything, so I have a feeling it won't.
¿Cómo debía ser su personaje, Finnick, en esta película? Sí, ¿cómo tenía que ser? ¿Qué le pidieron o qué? ¿Cuál era?
What did they tell you that your character should be? Finnick, how should Finnick be described?
It's a tough one, really. I don't think anyone told me anything, really. I read the book, I read the script, and of course the script isn't too far from the book, and therefore it was I was very sort of aware when we were filming the last film of where his journey was going to go. I took all that into account when we filmed the last film. So it felt like he was wearing a mask. The person we've met before isn't the real Finnick. That's just a persona that he puts on to kind of make himself feel more comfortable. This is the real Finnick, and I think the vulnerable, sensitive, and broken state of mind is very similar to who I am as a person. Not that I'm broken, but the two of us, have a lot in common, and I think it was quite easily accessible to me. So, me and Francis did have conversations, but nothing was. We were always very much on the same page, is what I'm trying to say.
¿En qué medida se involucran en el rodaje? Quiero saber un poco cómo es esa atmósfera y si les mantiene un poco aislados, atrapados durante X tiempo.
To what extent do you feel like trapped in the shooting, like inside for a whole time, out of the world, inside the world of the shooting of the film?
Do I feel trapped?
Trapped, like inside, out of the world, like in a kind of bubble.
Hollywood in general, I feel, is just such a dream world, a bubble, and especially when you kind of get on set, it does have a tendency, sometimes it makes you lose yourself. And at the same time, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence would allow you to lose yourself too much. She keeps everyone very grounded and makes jokes constantly. So I never kind of lost myself to Finnick Odair and started crying myself to sleep, tying knots. Or, I'm also not one of those actors that continues to talk with the accent that I'm working on. I think it's important never to lose yourself completely, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's always important to kind of keep a part of yourself so you're aware of what's going on. I think if you lose yourself to a character, it's quite dangerous.
Bueno, estando dentro del proyecto, yo quería saber si de alguna manera Panem le parece un símbolo para, no sé, alguna situación actual, si esa rebelión, si lo ha comparado en algún momento, no sé, cómo hacer ese paralelismo con la realidad.
shooting inside the project, do you feel that there'd be a parallel with Panem and any actual current situation in society?
So,
Panem?
yeah, what was the
Do you
beginning?
think that, like having been inside the story, do you think you could create any parallelism with any current situation in society?
I mean, I think there's continual parallels between Panem and what Suzanne Collins has created and what's going on in today's society. I think pretty much every subject, in fact, that the film tackles is somewhat related to something that's happening. I think the huge sort of influence of the media in these films is probably most accessible to today's society. I mean, with the art of the selfie and you know, how people use social media. I mean, this is technology versus technology, and I think, you know, just from what you see in the news every single day, from all over the world, it's very, very, very relevant. And what I love about these movies is despite their sort of political influence, they don't cram this information down anyone's throat. So kids will watch this entertained, but will also be able to kind of piece it together without having to